Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought, I make decent money, so why do I still feel broke? Because that feeling, it's more common than people would like to admit. And here's the simply truth. Feeling broke isn't always about your income. That's right. It's about what's happening around your money. But hold that thought. We'll dive a bit deeper into the topic, a bit further in the video. Right now, U.S. household debt is approaching $18.8 trillion, according to the Federal Reserve. And credit card debt alone has crossed $1.2 trillion. So if you feel like you're constantly trying to catch up, chances are, well, you're not alone. Today, we're breaking down the top 10 things that quietly make you feel broke, even when your income says you shouldn't. If you're serious about building real financial freedom, not just looking good on paper or social media, subscribe to Keith's Money Mindset. And as we go through this list, comment the one that hits you the hardest. 1. Lifestyle creep. You get a raise, and your life upgrades with it. Better apartment, better car, more spending. Nothing feels extreme, but everything costs more. Let's look at an example. You go from making $60,000 to $80,000, but your expenses go from $40,000 to $70,000. You technically make more, but you don't feel richer. The Federal Reserve shows consumer spending continues to rise alongside credit usage, meaning income increases often come with higher spending habits. And here's what makes lifestyle creep so tricky. It doesn't feel like overspending. It feels like progress. You work harder, you earn more, so naturally you want your life to reflect that. But over time, something shifts. Instead of upgrading your financial position, you upgrade your responsibilities. Let's look at another example. Someone gets a $15,000 raise, but then rent increases by $600 per month. Car payment adds another $400. Dining and lifestyle adds another $300. That's over $1,300 per month in new expenses. That entire raise, gone. According to data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, consumer spending rises consistently with income increases, especially in housing, transportation, and food. So it's not that people are irresponsible. It's that the system and expectations scale or rise with income. 2. Monthly payment thinking. This is one of the biggest traps. You stop thinking, how much does this cost? And start thinking, what's the monthly payment? For example, $30,000 car equals $500 per month. That sounds manageable until you stack 4 to 5 payments together. Now your income is already spoken for. Here's where this really starts to impact people long term. When everything becomes a monthly payment, you lose sight of how much of your income is already committed. Let's break it down. Car, $500 per month. Phone, $120 per month. Furniture, $200 per month. Credit cards, $300 per month. That's over $1,100 per month gone before you even start living. And here's the part most people don't realize. Lenders structure payments to feel comfortable, not to help you build wealth. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has highlighted how minimum payments and financing structures are designed to extend repayment timelines. So while everything feels affordable, your income is slowly getting locked in. 3. Debt that feels normal. Debt today is normalized. Credit cards, buy now, pay later, loans for everything. And here's the issue. When something feels normal, you stop questioning it. Nearly half of Americans carry credit card balances month to month, showing how common ongoing debt has become. And once debt feels normal, it stops feeling urgent. That's when people stop trying to get out of it quickly. Because there's no immediate pressure, no alarm, no breaking point, just steady payments. For example, someone carries $8,000 in credit card debt. They make payments every month. They're not missing payments, so it feels like things are under control. But in reality, interest keeps resetting the balance. According to the Federal Reserve, credit card interest rates are at some of the highest levels in decades, often exceeding 20%, which means even responsible behavior can still lead to slow progress. And that's the trap. 4. No financial margin. If all your money is already assigned, you feel broke, no matter your income, because there's no room. No room for mistakes, no room for opportunity, no room to breathe. Let's look at an example. You make $5,000 per month. but your bills equals $4,900. That's pressure. Here's what having no margin really feels like in real life. You're constantly calculating. Before every decision, you're thinking, can I afford this? Even small things. For example, you hesitate before filling up gas, going out to eat, fixing something small. Not because you don't make enough, but because there's no buffer. And according to the Federal Reserve, a significant percentage of Americans would struggle to cover a $400 emergency without borrowing. That's not just a money issue, that's a margin issue. Because when there's no margin, everything feels urgent. 5. Comparing yourself to others. Social media changed everything. Now you're not comparing to neighbors, you're comparing to thousands of people, vacations, cars, homes. And even if you're doing well, it doesn't feel like it. And comparison doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects how you spend. Because once you see what others have, you start adjusting your expectations. Let's look at an example. You weren't thinking about upgrading your car until you saw someone else do it. You weren't thinking about a bigger home until it became your new standard. And this is backed by behavioral finance research and behavioral economics, which shows that people make financial decisions based on social comparison, not just logic. So even if your finances are solid, your perception can still make you feel behind. And that feeling leads to spending. 6. High fixed expenses. The bigger your fixed costs, the less flexible your life becomes. Mortgage, car payments, insurance. These don't adjust easily. For example, you lose income, but your expenses stay the same. That's when stress hits. High fixed expenses don't just affect your budget, they affect your flexibility. Because once those costs are locked in, you can't easily adjust them. For example, someone has $3,000 mortgage, $700 car payment, or $400 insurance. That's over $4,000 per month before anything else. So if income drops, there's no easy adjustment. That's why economists often emphasize keeping fixed costs manageable, because they determine how resilient your finances are. When fixed expenses are too high, even small disruptions feel big. 7. Paying for the past. Debt is money from your past, being paid by your future. Every payment you make is tied to something you already bought. For example, $500 per month debt payment, that's $6,000 per year, not building anything. Here's what makes this one hit differently. You're working today to pay for decisions you made yesterday. And that can feel frustrating because your current effort isn't improving your current life. Let's look at an example. You're making $500 per month payments, but your lifestyle hasn't improved because that money is tied to something that already happened. And over time, that creates a disconnect. You're working hard, but not seeing progress. That's one of the biggest reasons people feel stuck financially. 8. Delayed investing. This one is silent, but powerful. When you delay investing, you lose time, and time is everything. Delinquency rates and rising debt show many households are prioritizing repayment over wealth building, delaying financial growth. This is where the long-term impact really shows up, because investing isn't just about money, it's about time, and time multiplies everything. For example, someone who invests $300 per month starting at 25 will likely end up with significantly more than someone who starts at 35, even if the second person invests more. That's the power of compounding. But when debt delays investing, you miss those early years. According to data from Securities and Exchange Commission, compounding returns are one of the most important drivers of long-term wealth. And once time is gone, you can't replace it. 9. Income without a plan. More money doesn't fix confusion. Without a plan, more income just creates more spending. Example, you earn more but don't direct it, so it disappears. Money without direction doesn't stay, it moves. And if you don't tell it where to go, it goes wherever it's easiest. For example, someone gets a raise but doesn't adjust anything. No investing increase, no savings plan, So the money disappears into lifestyle, subscriptions, small upgrades, and at the end of the month, nothing has changed. That's why financial clarity matters more than income alone. 10. Mental weight of money. This is the part people don't talk about. Money stress is heavy, and research shows rising debt levels are increasingly linked to financial stress and instability in households. Even if things look okay on paper, mentally, it doesn't feel okay. This is the part people feel the most, but talk about the least. Money stress doesn't turn off. It follows you into your thoughts, your decisions, your daily life. For example, you're working, but thinking about bills. You're relaxing, but thinking about money. That constant pressure builds, and studies from the American Psychological Association consistently show that finances are one of the top sources of stress for Americans. So even if things look okay on paper, it doesn't feel okay internally. And that's why this matters, because the goal isn't just to fix numbers, it's to remove that weight. Now, a quick final thought. Feeling broke isn't always about income. It's about structure, habits, decisions, pressure. And once you see what's causing it, you can start fixing it. Because the goal isn't just to make money, it's to feel in control of it. If this helped you see things differently, take a second to like the video, drop a comment with the one that hit you the hardest. And if you're serious about elevating your financial literacy game, subscribe to Keith's Money Mindset. This is Keith's Money Mindset, where we build assets, break cycles, and create freedom. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.